Well, hello and good morning. Good morning from a very wet and rainy Cranley in Surrey. I think we've made the right choice to be on a webinar today rather than going out and about in this horrible weather. A very warm welcome to this call. This is all about essential financial planner productivity tools. And I'm going to dive more or less straight into that after a very brief introduction and welcome from me. So, my name is Martin Bamford. I'm founder of Bamford Media. We're a multimedia marketing agency based in Surrey. We're a team of 7, and we work primarily with financial planners to help drive engagement and retain their ideal clients. So that's who we are. But as well as being a marketing agency owner, I'm also a chartered financial planner and a fellow of the Personal Finance Society. And for the past 18 years, I've been an owner and director of Informed Choice, an award-winning firm of chartered financial planners. So I try and blend these two lives together a little bit, the marketing agency life, the financial planner life, and bring it together. Our call today is a bit less about the marketing side of things and a bit more about the getting things done as a financial planner side of things. So it's a bit about productivity and it's a bit about efficiency. And what I'll be sharing in this call is 7 different productivity and efficiency tools that I believe as financial planners can help us to get shit done, as it says on that slide there. We lead incredibly busy lives, increasingly busy lives. So I think it's so important that we strive for efficiency and effectiveness in everything we do, making life as easy as possible, making business as easy as possible. Because if we waste effort and we waste time, it's going to hold us back and hold back our potential. So that's what I'd like to cover in this call today. Plenty of time for questions. I've also got a link at the end of the call, which is all about all the useful resources I mentioned throughout. So 7 different areas I'd like to go through for an agenda today. So a tool that will help reduce your travel, and that's probably quite timely at the moment for various reasons. A tool that will help you to schedule your life and your meetings more easily. Cloud access, talking about the importance of cloud access, being able to access your apps and your data from anywhere. Team task management, collaboration tools, so important. Automating your social media, transforming your note taking, and also the ability to talk rather than type. So I'll apologize in advance if I'm teaching anyone on this call to suck eggs. There's likely to be at least a few of these, I would hope, that you're already aware of, that you're already using. But if you get at least 1 or 2 or 3 new tips out of this call, I'd count that as a win. And I'd say that's a good benefit from going through this. And what I'd like to do for each of these 7 also is put them in context of why I believe they're so important. And that may unlock a few ideas as well as you listen to me go through each one. So feel free to use the chat bar on the side of the screen if you have questions as we go. If you'd like to just say hello and yes, Martin, I can hear you and I'm here. Don't be shy, do say hello. Let's get straight into the first one. And I think when I started planning this webinar, obviously didn't know that we'd be in the outbreak of a corona pandemic. I don't think it's a pandemic yet, it's an epidemic. It will be a pandemic in due course, no doubt. We're all washing our hands a lot more. We're starting to practice these things called social distancing. We're hearing some big tech companies in the US now are asking clients not to come to their offices. They're cancelling interviews and doing them remotely. They are telling their executives and their staff not to travel, not to commute, to work from home where possible. We don't know how bad coronavirus is going to get, particularly here in the UK. But I'm also seeing this morning on Twitter some financial planners saying that their clients are self-isolating because they've been exposed to cases via schools. Children have come back from Italy from ski holidays at half term. And as a result, they're self-isolating. My prediction, if I'm allowed to make one, is in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we will see widespread self-isolation. We'll see dramatically limited business travel, meetings, engagements, etc. And as a result, I think it's essential we have the tools and the capabilities at hand to continue business as more or less normal. So that's one driver behind this reduced travel tip. The other is it's just so much better for everything, for everyone involved. It's better for you as the financial planner. It saves a huge amount of time. Yeah, the old notion of getting in the car and driving for an hour or two to see a client and an hour or two back after a 30-minute or 60-minute or a 90-minute meeting just seems like madness to me from a time efficiency point of view, from an environmental impact perspective, from a stress level point of view. Down here in Cranley, in Surrey, in the southeast, lovely part of the world. Yeah, Surrey, most wooded county in the country, apparently. So we've got a fantastic place to live. But the roads are a nightmare. We are 9 miles away from our nearest mainline station into London. And that 9-mile journey, if I get the timing wrong, will take me an hour and 20 minutes. And then I've still got the hellish journey of a train up to Waterloo, 35 minutes on a good day, but never get a seat. And then the experience of getting across London for meetings. It's not good use of time or use of money or use of your stress levels to travel to see clients where you don't need to. So these are the tools that we recommend for having better video calls with clients. And the first one is a platform. It's Zoom. And I know many financial advisors still like to use Skype or FaceTime or even Google Hangouts. We've tested all of them. And from a reliability and a functionality perspective, Zoom is the one to go with. It's really, really good, reliable connection. It's very simple to use. You send the client a link, they click on the link at the appointed time of the meeting, and it opens it up in their browser or opens an app up, downloads an app and opens it. It's very simple, very reliable, and very good quality calls. So Zoom I'm using multiple times each day. It's very reliable. You just need to have a good internet connection. But really, the three stroke four tools you need to make sure a video call is a good video call is firstly the camera. And actually, for the call today, I've just moved my camera just over here. So my camera of choice is this Logitech C920 HD webcam. So HD, it's high definition. It has a 1080p camera. That means you can see all the sort of the wrinkles and the blemishes on people's faces. But it feels like you're in the same room. When you sort of bring that camera up to full, let's do that. Bring that camera up to full speed, and I can put it back on there because I can look at you up this way now. Get a quality webcam. Get a webcam that allows you to see the whites of your client's eyes and vice versa, so they can actually see who you are and what you stand for. This webcam costs what are we talking? £55 a month. Sorry, a month. £55 from Amazon. Fantastic value. Very, very high quality. It's plug and play via USB. So certainly get yourself a webcam. How do I bring my slides back now? Actually, you don't want to see my face the whole time. There we go. Let's bring that back up to like that. So Logitech webcam. Get yourself one of those. What I've learned from filmmaking over the years, and I've made a documentary and produced various films and short films, etc. It's not all about the audio and all about the video, and actually you need to get the audio right as well. So getting the audio right is about having a microphone, which is a dynamic microphone. Dynamic microphones pick up the voice at a very close range. They cut out a lot of the extraneous background noise that's going on. So particularly if you're in a noisy office environment, you can't control the external noise factors. Then a decent dynamic microphone is well worth having. So the one we recommend is this one I'm wearing here, the Audio Technica BPHS1. Again, I'll link to all of these at the end of the presentation. Now, the reason I say go for one of these headsets, and I had a bit of debate just before we started this on Twitter with a financial planner about this, who doesn't like a headset because it ruins his natural good looks. I'm not sure I believe that, but there we go. The reason I say go for a headset is this thing called mic technique. And I've learned this from doing 1,000+ podcast interviews. If you have a microphone you need to hold in your hand or one on the desk, now what will happen, you'll look away to look at your emails or to look at some notes. And as you turn your head away and you keep talking, the sound will go. And I can almost sort of, demonstrate that as we go. It won't happen with this because we have a fixed microphone position in front of the mouth. You can look anywhere, you can turn your head anywhere, and the sound quality remains consistent. But of course, if you have a microphone on your desk, like a projected microphone, and you turn your head away and you're turning this way and it's going further away and then you come back again, it's a distraction from the call. So fixed microphone, dynamic microphone, these are the headsets that sports presenters wear when they're at cricket matches, when they're at football matches, because it cuts out so much of that background noise. Now, this is a broadcast quality microphone and headset. Costs about £180 from Amazon at the moment. But because it's broadcast quality, it doesn't just plug into the back of your computer. You need an interface. And the interface we recommend is the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. It's a small red box. It's what this is plugged into right now. And it plugs the XLR microphone input in. It plugs the headphone input into it as well. But it's got really, really high quality, clean preamps within that amplifier, within that head interface. So it's really good quality. Works really well, very reliable, and that's the interface between the headset and your computer. So that's the audio covered. The other thing is lighting, and I see so many people get this wrong on video calls. Particularly a client that hasn't done it before, you switch on the call and they've got their back to a window, and all you can see is their outline, their silhouette. So to get lighting right, at a very bare minimum, you want to make sure you're facing a natural light source like a window. I have a window to the side of me here. But the really simple technique for this is to get something called a ring light. It's an LED ring light. If you ever go onto YouTube and maybe you've got a teenage daughter who watches beauty vloggers on YouTube, so makeup tutorials, that sort of thing, it's what they use because it makes your eyes sparkle. It gives you a lovely sort of circular light in your eye. I'm not sure you can quite see that on the video here. Very, very simple, very cheap. The ones we recommend are between about 20 and 40 pounds. They clip on next to your webcam. You power them up when it's time for the call, and they don't give off any heat, which is really nice. And it brightens up your face, and it helps to make that emotional connection on the video call because they can see the whites of our eyes. Now, Peter's asked a good question, which is Zoom free? Is it worth paying for the extra functions? I should have covered that. So yes, there is a free version. The free version is absolutely fine. It's the one I tend to use. The only limitation on the free version is if you have a group call, so 3 or more people, you're limited on that call to 40 minutes maximum. If you want to pay for the premium version, the pro version, it's $11.99 a month, and that just removes the restrictions on group calls. So if you're going to be having client video calls with multiple clients in different locations, I'd go with the pro because you don't want that clock ticking down and worrying about the time limit coming up. But actually, the free version, I've never had a problem with. You can record the calls. You can record just the audio or the audio and the video. Once you've got the call recording, you can get that transcribed using a service like rev.com very cheaply, less than $1 a minute for quality transcription, 10 cents a minute for AI transcription. But Zoom, as I said earlier, is one of the most reliable tools. So that's my first one. Stop traveling around the country and spreading coronavirus. Stay at home, stay in your office, have quality video calls, and save time. Yeah, do multiple ones of these a day. Don't do one meeting a day plus loads of wasted travel time. There's a place, there's a role for seeing clients face to face, particularly at the start of the relationship. But for an ongoing basis, I think we can do a lot more remotely. And I think that's going to become a very popular thing for a variety of reasons. Right, number two then is the ability to schedule easier. Now, this one for me was such a game changer. And there are other scheduling apps available. Calendly is my preferred one. I know there's other ones out there like Meet Once or something, I think it's called. So easy. Effectively, it integrates within your calendar, whether that's Google or Microsoft, whatever you use, and it allows people to schedule meetings with you, face-to-face meetings or video meetings, different types. They pick a time that suits them within the rules that you've set. So you tell them when you're available. You set rules like how long you want to leave either side of types of meetings, which days and afternoons and mornings you're not available. If you're a Friday afternoon golfer, you can block that out every week. So Calendly, it's about removing the barrier to setting up a call. And we've all had this, haven't we? Sort of email tennis where we're saying, "Were you free this day at this time?" No. What about this one? Send them a link to your Calendly, and they can just go into your calendar, see what's available in terms of available times. They can't see the details of your calendar, but they can see which time slots are available and book themselves in. Now, this for me is really powerful because of the ability to set up discovery calls. And think about where that sits within the engagement ladder. I've said before multiple times on blogs, videos, webinars like this, I think financial planners make a common mistake, which is they try and leap from prospect to engagement, and we're missing a whole load in between. It's a scary, scary thing to go and sit down face to face with a financial planner, particularly at the moment if you might get coronavirus. But it's the scary thing to go in there and share your finances and your goals and your dreams and your relationship and your health, all these personal details with someone you barely know. So my view is have an interim step, as well as some interim steps before that, which are about building trust and authority and likability. But have an interim step, which is a very simple to book and simple to have discovery call via video, where you're just easing them into a relationship. You give them something of value as part of that call. Maybe it's a financial audit, financial health check. They get a PDF afterwards, which has some green lights and some amber lights and some red lights to say which areas they need to work on. Charge them if you want to for it as well. But have a specific landing page on your website that you send new prospects to who are ready for that, start that relationship, to say, look, before we get together face to face and do the really serious stuff, and you tell me everything about you, and we get all personal. Let's do this interim step, this discovery call. Let's get to know each other a little bit. Let me give you something that's really valuable, and then they're far more likely to move to the full engagement, the full financial plan. X thousand pounds plus X thousand pounds per year, the really serious stuff. So this works really, really well. Calendly is a brilliant scheduling tool. There is a free version of Calendly. It's fine, but pay for the $8 a month one because you get different unlimited meeting types. So you can have a discovery call via video, you can have a discovery call face to face, You can have all sorts of a paid discovery call, a free discovery call. You can set up those different types of appointment in Calendly, and you can have different rules for each one. You can take payment via the integrations on there. $8 a month allows you to brand your Calendly pages, so you've got your logo on it, your photo on it, etc. So it's a small price to pay, and it fully integrates with your calendar. Please start using Calendly. I promise that will completely change the game in terms of what you're doing. Right, number 3 on my list of tips is, and I'm sure many financial planners have already done this, but if you've not, again, it's a revelation. Put your email, your calendar, your documents, your systems, everything in the cloud. This is about being able to access everything from everywhere, or at least anywhere with an internet connection, which is effectively anywhere these days, isn't it? And the two main options really here are G Suite from Google or Microsoft 365. Now, I'm not a fan of Microsoft 365. I think it's very techy. It's very complicated to set up well. G Suite is very, very user friendly. It integrates well with a whole variety of different things. So yeah, I'd say go with MS 365 and go with G Suite. Use it for your email, your calendar, your docs. And just make everything available from everywhere. It's highly secure. It's fully encrypted. You can access it via multiple devices. So, I have my G Suite settings on my iPhone, on my iPad, on my laptop at home, on my PC at work, etc. So you're never away from, if you need to access a client file or an email or your calendar, you're never away from it. If you need to make an appointment, you can put it into a calendar in multiple devices. I'm not going to dwell on that one because really, I think cloud computing and cloud access to different systems is widespread and widely used. G Suite very, very affordable, £4 and 14 pence per month per user, for which you get 30 gigabytes of cloud storage. There's about a £9 per month per user G Suite package as well, which gives you much more storage and some extra sort of collaboration tools. But really, for that sort of money, it's just an incredibly powerful tool. One tip here, and this is where I sort of put my marketing hat on a little bit, is please make sure that you map your domain name to your cloud account. And what I mean by that is I still see financial planners who are emailing clients, emailing prospects from Mr. Financial Planner at yahoo.co.uk or AOL.com, even worse. Don't do that. Yeah, it costs $1.99 a year to buy a professional domain name, yourfirmname.co.uk, and then map it to your email account. So you are your name at yourfirmname.co.uk. It's what professionals do. Yeah, if you're driving around in a van and doing driveways for people, use a Yahoo address. But if you're a professional financial planner, please map your domain name to your cloud access account, to your email account. Very, very simple to do. If you get stuck with that, drop me a line. I'm very happy to help you because I hate to see financial planners using Yahoo, AOL, Gmail, whatever it may be, accounts to communicate. It's unprofessional. Don't do it. Yeah, sort that out. Right, next one is team task management. So the one we advocate here is called Basecamp. It's a project management tool. It allows you to split work into different projects as well as collaborate with colleagues. Now, I know within the financial planning, financial advice world, there are a range of CRM systems, client relationship management systems, and they serve a specific function. They're very good when they work well. They're very good at communicating with a variety of provider feeds and consolidating data and then reporting on data. They're pretty good at capturing client information and storing client information, allowing you to interrogate it. Some of them are pretty good at fee reconciliation, which is increasingly important for, as well as management accounting, for regulatory reporting when you're filling in your RMAR, as I was last week, or your professional indemnity insurance renewal, getting really good access to that interrogated data. Now, that's what they're good at. What they are not good at, in my opinion, is project management. And that's why I say use a standalone specialist project management tool. And Basecamp is the go-to one here. It's brilliant for collaboration within your team. It allows you to set up different projects, which you can then manage to have to-dos with assigned tasks to different people. It allows you to notify different people when a task has been completed, set deadlines, have chat functions, share important documents and files that relate to that project. And as well as client-specific projects and business-specific projects, you can have general stuff like a marketing Basecamp project, a finance Basecamp project, a compliance Basecamp project, all sorts of different things you can have on there. So look at Basecamp. It's very, very good value. It's $99 per month. That's a flat fee for unlimited users, unlimited storage, everything you want to do on unlimited projects. So $99 a month for Basecamp is a price really well spent. They used to have some wonderful tools that they operated as well, but it's all in Basecamp now. Everything they do is this one project. They're very, very good at doing one thing. And it really is about organizing the chaos of your emails. You can copy in emails to a Basecamp project. So anyone in your team can see the thread, can see the sort of conversation flow that's been involved in getting to that stage with that project. It's about organizing your life and becoming more effective at what you do with that. And you can collaborate not just with team members, but also with clients. You can invite clients to see elements of different projects so they can see the progress you're making and what happened next. Again, very secure, it's encrypted. You don't have to worry about client data. Very good value and just very, very easy to use. So that's number 4. Number 5, again, with my marketing hat on just a little bit, we know that social media is important. It's important because it's where our clients spend the majority of their time online. There's some great research out there that shows the different websites that people spend time on. Generally, Facebook absolutely thrashes all the rest of them. They may not be actively posting on Facebook, your prospective clients, your existing clients, but they will be lurking on there. As I explained yesterday to a couple of 70-year-olds I was chatting to, and they admitted, yeah, that's exactly what they do. They look at their grandchildren's photos, they stay in touch with family via Messenger, but they're not posting cat videos. They're not, sharing in comments and forums and things, but they are on there. Now, that's why social media is so important for financial advisors, because that's where your clients are spending most of their time. But also, social media and good social media use helps to drive traffic to your website. If Google looks at your website and sees it's linked to a plethora of social media platforms which are regularly updated with good quality content, it will rank your website higher. It will send more visitors to your website because your website becomes more of an authority on the subject. So that's search engine optimization here. Now, it's very hard to keep up with posting on social media platforms. You might have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, various others. Uh, Trying to find a time in a typical day, a typical week to post to social media is difficult. But I'm a big fan of batching work. So if you can choose a time slot each week or each month where you batch that activity to schedule posts to different social media platforms, and then in the interim, step in and do it manually when you have spare time. So you've got real interaction with it as well as scheduled stuff. That's a really powerful way of keeping your social media platforms up to date. The tool we recommend is called Hootsuite. Hootsuite allows you to have multiple social media platforms in one place. So you're not logging into Facebook and then posting and scheduling some stuff, doing the same with Twitter, doing the same with LinkedIn. Have it all set up in Hootsuite. Batch the work, as I said. It also reports to you the performance on different social media platforms. So you can run reports in Hootsuite and see which posts were the most engaging, which got the most likes and comments and clicks and engagement levels, what's working, what's not. So that's really powerful too. Hootsuite costs $29 a month for up to 10 platforms, unlimited scheduling. So it's really good value. As I said there on the slide, manual posting is really good and really important too, particularly in terms of having conversations with people on social media. But get your base, get your foundation in place by auto scheduling through Hootsuite. So at least you know if you haven't got the time, you've got a particularly busy week or a big busy month, that you've got some posts in your social media platform. A number of times we go onto financial advisors' Facebook pages. And I've done this in the last week or so, and the last message has just said, "Yeah, we're closing for Christmas on Wednesday, and we'll be back in 2020." It's like, okay, it's March now, and that's what you're telling us. So please do try and automate social media posts, stay up to date, stay relevant on those platforms. Right, the next one. This is about transforming note taking. I know we've heard for years and we've talked for years about a paperless office. And for us at Informed Choice, back in the mid 2000s, we had a bit of a turning point with the paperless office thing. And Nick and I went up to central London. We went to the head office in London of Canon, the people that make the printers and the scanners and things. And we had a demonstration of their paper scanner, document scanner. And I remember that day really well, partially because later that evening I went to see Red Hot Chili Peppers play live at Hyde Park, which was incredible. But I remember that day very well because Nick and I were on the train station platform in Guildford, and we had a client file with us, and we were taking all the staples out and all the bits of metal out of it, ready for a demonstration. And we thought we had completely foxed these people. We thought we were going to give them this huge, typical client file from a financial planner, 500, 600 pages, and say, here you go, see what you can do with that. And of course, he dropped it in the feeder and he scanned it and it went through seamlessly, perfectly in about a minute or two. Not a problem. Now, of course, the trouble with scanning documents, as we soon found out, it transformed our lives having that scanner because we had 14 4-drawer filing cabinets in our office. Took up most of the ground floor of our offices just having filing cabinets. And we paid a couple of interns that summer and scanned the whole lot. and that was transformative for our business. But what we've soon discovered was that, of course, you can scan all your existing client files, but if you're still making new client files, you're no better forwards. So, go true meaning of paperless to me is not having paper in the first place. And only quite recently, the last 6 months or so, I've started doing this now. I've tried to stop using paper in all formats. My desk, apart from some posts that's come in today, is paper free. So I make notes. I take notes now using an iPad. And to do this well, I think you need a few different things. So, firstly, the iPad itself doesn't matter whether it's the sort of the basic 10.2, which is what I've got, or the iPad Pro, the larger screen, the more powerful function processor. I'd say if you're replacing your laptop with an iPad, go for the Pro. If you're just using it for basic apps and note taking, the normal iPad is absolutely fine. Now, the other really important tool I hold up here is this in the Apple Pencil. And the Apple Pencil is what allows you to write. It's a stylus, allows you to write on the screen. And the reason I say Apple Pencil, this costs about £90. The reason I say Apple Pencil rather than just a 20 quid stylus you can buy on Amazon is this does has a bit of technology in it that allows the Apple iPad screen to ignore your hand. So when you're writing and your hand is resting on the screen, your hand's not making loads of marks. This has got that technology built into it. It charges via the lightning port in the bottom of your iPad, which is probably the only annoying function because occasionally you get a warning message to say your Apple Pencil only has 5% left, please charge it, and you have to stop mid-meeting, plug it in, keep chatting, etc. But the Apple Pencil is an absolutely fantastic bit of kit. And then the other thing, if you're going to do notes and note taking on your iPad, is a screen protector called Paperlike. And this is what takes note taking on an iPad from pretty good to absolutely incredible. Paperlike costs £30. This is a matte finish screen protector, and it transforms the surface of your iPad screen into just a nicer surface to write on. If you write straight onto your iPad screen with an Apple Pencil or a different stylus, it's a bit clicky, it's a bit slippery, it's glossy as well, so you get that glare coming off. You put the Paperlike screen protector on there, and it glides nicely. It feels a bit more like you're writing on a pad of paper with a real pen. So your writing's a lot neater. You can write a bit smaller than you could otherwise. You're not clicking and scratching the whole time. So Paperlike on your iPad screen with an Apple Pencil. And then the final tip here is Notability. Notability is the app that I've tested lots of different note-taking apps. Notability is absolutely fantastic, very simple to use, quick to set up. You can have different paper backgrounds. You can send your notes to email or to Dropbox or Drive or wherever you store your stuff afterwards. Um, so very, very easy to stay organized as well, which is really good. There are other note-taking apps out there, but I love Notability. Little things like you can import clips from the web. So if you've got a bit of text on a website, you can just bring that across very easily. You can cut and move different things. So if you've written a note during a client meeting, and you think, oh, later on I want to talk about that more, you can draw around it, drag it to that part of the meeting notes, and then keep writing underneath it. Really good. You can import PDFs. So, for example, you can have a PDF of your client fact find, your customer forms. You can import that as your document, and then you can write straight onto it, or your client can write straight onto it. So, in terms of transforming note taking, the iPad, the Apple Pencil, Paperlike, and Notability. And again, links to all of this I'll share with you in just a second, so you can find them nice and easily. And then, last but not least, and again, only relatively recently I've come across this one. Artificial intelligence, when it comes to voice recognition, is moving on leaps and bounds. So, I mean, many of us now have Siri and Alexa and various voice assistants built into our lives in different devices we use. Um, but behind the scenes, what we're seeing is just a leap and a bound forward with AI when it comes to voice recognition. Now, Otter AI is a fantastic app. You can get it on Apple, you can get it on Google, Android, and effectively it's a voice recorder that ties in with an automatic transcription service. And it was designed for meetings. So very often, transcription services have difficulty distinguishing between different voices because we know what meetings are like. It's not a long streaming narrative like I've been doing to you for the last 30 minutes. It's not a long streaming narrative of one person. It's multiple people talking and interruptions and questions and pauses. Now, Otter AI has been developed to understand different voices in meeting scenarios. It's very good for a solo recording as well, but in a meeting, it works for absolutely fantastically. And as it records your voices, it automatically transcribes and allocates that transcript to a different person in the conversation. So effectively, what it does is creates this rough draft of your meeting notes. But the really clever thing about it is it creates searchable archive of that conversation. Um, it produces a tag cloud of the frequently used words during the meeting, and you can then just click on one of those words, and it will leap to that point of the conversation, so you can play it back. Um, it doesn't yet record phone calls and transcribe phone calls, but that functionality is coming soon. I know that's not a huge issue for financial planners because we're largely exempt from the MiFID II call recording rules. But I guess in time, I think having recorded phone conversations with clients will become more important. The free version of Otter.ai gives you up to 600 minutes a month. So what's that, 10 hours of talking a month, which is pretty good for free. It's what I use at the moment. I'm not going over and above that. If you pay $8.33 a month, you get 6,000 minutes of transcription a month. Try it out. Download it as an app to your phone or your iPad or your whatever device you use, and give it a go in your next meeting or next time you need to write up some meeting notes. Give it a try. It's a really powerful tool. Typically, we're faster talking than we are typing. Um, so that's where I'm at with that. Those are my 7 tips for productivity and productivity tools. A few final thoughts on this. Um, there are really 3 skill sets that I think have made me far more efficient and productive than I would otherwise be. One is touch typing. And what amazes me is when I speak to paraplanners in particular, the number of paraplanners I come across who can't touch type. For me, I learned to touch type in the mid 90s using Mavis Beacon Teachers Typing as a program on a computer. And there's an online version of that now. Practice for 10 minutes a day if you can't already do it. If you're like my dad and you still type with a few different fingers, 2 fingers, practice touch typing 10 minutes a day. You're never ever too old to learn touch typing. And you can comfortably get up to between sort of 60 and 80, 90 words a minute touch typing. And that will make your life so much easier. It makes your typing more accurate. It makes it faster and more comfortable. And you don't have to think about looking for where the keys are and what's going on. So look for touch typing skills. Number 2 is speed reading. And I went on a 2-day speed reading course about 20 years ago. And for me, that has helped dramatically. You can absorb information and retain a lot more information when you're reading through documents. And as we all know, within the financial planning world, there are a lot of regulatory documents to read, regulatory updates, compliance and disclosure documents. The ability to scan copy, pull out the most important points, and retain that in your brain during a meeting is really powerful. So speed reading. And then finally, as a skill, I think is really good from a productivity and efficiency point of view, mind mapping. And again, it's been about 20 years since the last time I went on a mind mapping course, but the stuff on it stuck with me. It's particularly useful if you're revising for examinations. To get an overview of a subject, to get a really deep, memorable understanding of the different subject areas. And there's some great books out there on mind mapping as well. I think it's a chap called Tony Bazan, who is the mind mapping guru that's written various books. But if you learn the mind mapping skills, you combine it with speed reading and touch typing. Those 3 skill sets and tools, I believe, are invaluable and will just, as well as the sort of the apps and the technology tools we've talked about in this presentation. If you can touch type, speed read, and mind map, that will completely transform your productivity and your efficiency. I've put a page together on our website at bamfordmedia.co.uk/productive, where you can find links to everything I've talked about in this presentation. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about sort of going searching for the different tools and technology I've talked about. Go to that page, bamfordmedia.co.uk/productive, and that's where you can find all those. If you have questions, now would be a great time to type your questions in the toolbar on the right-hand side. Mark, thank you very much. I would love to have a chat with you. I mentioned earlier about having a discovery call landing page on your website so you can direct prospects to it and they can find out a bit more about what to expect of you and what's going on. Um, if you visit that one there, bamfordmedia.co.uk/discovery call, then you can see exactly what I mean by that. And obviously, when we set up websites for financial planners, we build pages, landing pages like this for their websites. They're very, very good at converting prospective clients into first calls, which then lead on to full engagement meetings. But I'd love to talk about any aspect of your digital marketing, about your business goals, about what you're trying to achieve this year as a financial planner, and how we might be able to help with that. Emily, thank you so much. That's very kind feedback as well. So let's have a chat. Do schedule a video call with me. I'd love to hear from you. And then just to remind you as well, if you like the slides and the resources for this page, for this webinar, just go to that page there. Let's type that into the chat bar as well. And that's where you can find slides and useful links. thank you so much for taking part, for watching today. I hope the weather is better where you are than it is here in Cranley, because it's still miserable. And I'm not looking forward to going out and getting my lunch in a second and get absolutely soaked by it. But until next time, do check out our website and our social media to find out when we're doing more of these. We've got a few more lined up for the next few months as well. But thank you for joining us, and lovely to see you all. Thank you.